hot off the press.
Woo, yeah, Nelly.
Woo-wee.
I'm feeling kind of good, and I'm also feeling kind of stupid sitting next to you.
What?
This is a
Don't say
stuck
that.
at night.
Don't say that.
Look, maybe within my own narcissism, Josh, I maybe always thought. Yeah, let's turn that down. Maybe I thought I always was the more of the intellectual. Oh my God.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this is going
Proving
well.
yourself
This is going
wrong.
so well. I always thought I was more of the intellectual, more of the philosophizer. Even though I remember when we've taken pizza toppings, you really impressed me with your philosophizing. So yeah, no, I shouldn't have been surprised. I should have asked you to be the special guest from the beginning, actually. But massive apology to Forging Thought. I owe you.
Okey doke Forging Thought.
I did.
But much love to Forging Thought.
And he was texting me, here and there some quips, one of which I did add, like, Richard Hawking, Stephen Hawking. Yeah, he's like, you'd have to build like something that's as big as the Earth, like, yeah, thank you. So
that's a big machine if it's as big as the Earth.
Sorry, I'm trying to multitask as
that's
the
fine.
people we just had a debate with.
Are we going to go on live with them? Did they send us the link?
Yeah.
Is that what's going on? You know what? Maybe we'll hop on there in a second. How did you feel the debate went? Just make sure you send that up in the topics chat so I can get that queued up.
Happening right now. Honestly, I feel like if you were not here, it would have gone. Like if I was on my own, it would have been so much more terrible. It would have been a different kind of debate if it was just Lori and I, which was what it was originally. And then I came up with the idea after watching Forging Thought speak. I was like, this guy would be a great baiter. And,
go away, baiting.
But then I remembered Josh is the ultimate baiter of baiting. And,
so much so where people hate me for it.
Okay. Unquestionably, there's people in her lovely show that wanted to beat us over the head. I'm glad that they're Christian tolerance. No call-outs.
No, and there was one person who was like, oh, I'm not concerned about you, Eli. So I felt kind of good about that. Like, oh, this guy, he thinks I'm going to go in there just like a wrecking ball. Like, brah, 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 brah.
Well, you did.
I think I did the opposite of that.
What's the name of that chick?
Miley Cyrus?
Yeah, I mean, I thought you kind of looked like her. More than Gosling today. You reminded me of Miley Cyrus.
How dare you?
I'm just saying. I mean, hey, she's a pretty man.
I enjoy those. I enjoy a nice what for, a nice back and forth. It seemed like we got a little, we got under one of their skin a little bit, or at the very least it got him riled up. And Eric was very fun to talk back and forth with, but he did seem a little worked up. I got to him a few times.
I had never heard, with all due respect, I had never heard the term ad hominem attributed to.
Not an ad hominem.
Yes. Like all you said was this is kind of off topic. That's not insulting him. You didn't say, "Hey, you're Mr. Off Topic Pants." Yeah. That would be an ad hominem there.
Right.
So, but otherwise, I think we all got. I didn't enjoy the whole hey, tell me about the chemtrails, contrails, and then after they left, I hope he finds out it was explained very articulately by our boy Cold Beer.
Yeah, and I do want to say too, I enjoyed that. We found common ground on some things, but we did get off topic a lot, and I do think that is signs of defeat. This was a debate, and I think the off topicness lends itself to being defeated. Well, but that's just me, and that's just me being a shit starter.
To credit where the credit is due, that was mostly Eric trying to pull us off of what we went there for. My most rudest comment that was formulating was we prepped to talk about CERN, so you talking about chemtrails, contrails, the moon landing. I just I'm not here for it, but we entertained it as best we could.
And I think if it got really off topic, Will, Sage,
would have,
even the chat would have chimed in and said, whoa, hold on a second, what does contrails have to? Oh no, they did say that. Never mind. You want to go on their show? You want to go hang out with them real quick and see what see what's going on with Global Watchmen news? I would love to.
I would love to have a nice little hug.
Let's see if we can get in their studio. I'm gonna bring this over to our screen so we could see.
I didn't know Eric was there. He wasn't there earlier.
What is that? Why is that bad?
No, it's not. I'm just I just want to give him
Hang on a second. If we can't hear you, I'm sorry. Hang on.
Before we start.
Yeah,
Hello,
that was the biggest problem I had.
Hello, Josh. Hello, Lee. First off, we're not going to continue the debate. This is the after party. I want us just to show that, look at, you know what, we have differences, you know, and I want to say I appreciate you guys tremendously for inviting us on to do this. You know, as I said when I first went on live here, is that it's kind of hard to debate somebody when my take on it is completely and totally principalities, spirituality, esoteric, looking at the symbolism, looking at everything taking place. And you guys have something tangible in your hand. You guys have science, and all I have is belief. So with that being said, thank you guys. I had a great time.
It was a pleasure. I mean, this is literally what our whole mission statement of Stuck in the Middle or Stuck at Night is, to find people that disagree with us. We don't want to find the echo chambers. We don't like yes men. We want people that are open to challenge, because without challenge, where would we be? So,
Stagnant.
Yeah, stagnant, going nowhere, no progress, nothing.
And that is exactly what I tell my followers, my people here, my chatters, is that, look at exactly what you said. I don't want to surround myself with yes men. I want somebody who's going to bring a different perspective to the argument, to show me, because you know what? I don't want to sit in one spot. I want to be able to learn from other people. You know, you guys, you did great. I mean, and in all fairness, this was a shock to me tonight. I was not prepared for tonight.
Same here, actually, because his channel was taken down 3 days ago, so I was also like, oh, it's not happening. And then, like 10 minutes before I was gonna close my store, he was like, oh, hey, we're going on, bro. What's up?
Can I make a confession? I literally started cramming information at about 8 p.m.
8 p.m. he started, and
I had a half-hour notice.
I'm sorry.
I want to make sure
I appreciate you. Eric
had about as much time to prepare as I did, because when I talked to Eli on the phone, was it yesterday, the day before? He's like, "What day is good for you?" And I said, "Any day my husband's out of town, preferably Wednesday. Thursday nights are great." And then I didn't realize it was going to be this Thursday night, and so trying to.
You picked a topic I didn't prepare for.
I've been down.
Come on, guys. Let's not say that.
I want to know about, so when the show ended, I was in the basement and somebody came out and said high turbo bypass engines create more.
That was the judge.
Yeah, because they hold more air. He said something like that. Like, they hold more air, so they release it at a slower rate or something.
That's complete bullshit. And what I was wondering is why I was in the basement when that was being said.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it was very interesting to hear that.
The person who created the high turbo bypass engine,
Eric,
to say that's bullshit.
Let me tell you, please.
I found it interesting. He chose when I was off the broadcast to say that.
Okay, two things. Because he was playing judge, and secondly, he would be more than happy to speak to you if you use your platform and just
message him.
Then why wasn't he more than happy to speak to me?
Because it wasn't about him, Eric.
He's very professional.
It doesn't matter. He waited till I was gone to say that.
But Eric,
because during the whole thing, he didn't want to show sides.
Right.
During the thing,
he was supposed to be.
So when I'm off the broadcast, he decided to show a side.
I don't think he knew you were even there. It wasn't directed at
right. But I mean, why?
He's just talking to his audience.
If he believed what he said, he could have shut me down fucking like that.
He'd be more than happy to talk to you. I promise you.
I wanted to ask.
I guarantee you will not want to talk to me.
I wanted to ask if me and Eric were cool, but it seems like Eric and Will may not be cool. Because I
why when I brought that topic up, he waited till I was off the broadcast.
Wait, let Ernie speak.
Hold on.
Okay.
What up?
Now,
what's up, Ernie?
Let's bring out the elephant in the room.
Oh yeah.
Sorry for the substitution.
I'm sorry. Ernie is my co-star on Global Watch the News. So
what's up, buddy?
What's going on? Sorry for the substitution. I am a master debater, and I was looking forward to this, but work called, and I had to take the call, and it lasted all the way until 10:45 my time, which sucks. So Eric, he got thrown into the fire. I appreciate you jumping in.
Who certified you as a master debater, by the way? I'd like to know.
Himself, as all good master debaters do.
The very best of us.
Yeah, as all good master debaters do, we can say that we are self-certified. And I mean, we the royal we.
Yes.
All of us.
Self-certified, yep. But yeah, I would have loved to join in on a discussion with you guys. So hopefully one day in the future we'll be able to.
Well, listen, man, on our channel, we love having a good what for. We love having a good back and forth. So if there ever comes a topic where you see fit and we see fit, you know, we would love to have you guys have that what for on our channel at 1.2. So, you know, just keep that in mind. Keep that out there. You know,
cross promotion invitations across the board. We're all here to bring each other up.
One of the subjects
the only thing that
Go ahead, Aaron.
many people I talk to in my personal life tells me I'm the only person that comes to them with receipts. So just be prepared for that.
always, Ernie, and I appreciate that.
Ernie was probably more prepared. Like I said, I completely thought it was next Thursday, so I wasn't on my top game. But again, I mean, it's kind of hard for me to take the stance that I did because. You know, when it comes to the religious aspect of it, I guess if you want to say that, or the spiritual aspect of it, you know, most spiritual or most religion is based on faith.
Correct.
The things that you can't see, but yet you believe. So it's kind of hard to debate when you guys have got tangible data in your hand, and I've got nothing.
Lori, that is interesting.
About high turbo bypass.
Wait a minute, Eric. Wait, Eric.
No, go ahead.
I'm going to message Will right now.
That is interesting you say that because if you look at what science did initially to Higgs boson, they knew it was there.
Oh, yeah.
I don't necessarily, if you could call it tangible evidence, because they literally had to build the LHC to find it. But they felt so just as there are people out there who I know a spiritual realm exists, you know, like I know a higher power exists, you know, maybe they have those certain things that lead them to make that decision. But my question is, what would be equivalent to the spiritual realm, to the religious side? What is their large hadron collider? What gives you the most proof that beginning is there to what you are? You know, like if you can make that comparison. What is your guys' LHC?
I can start and then I'll let Lori finish. But it was the stuff I brought about Saturn worship, about Apollyon, about the exact same site that's in biblical text, that type of stuff. That
like there's a purpose. There's a reason why they put that where it is. You know, I mean, of all places on earth, that you know they put it on the temple of Apollyon. You know, they've got it's lined up according to you know, the biblical destroyer. Apollyon. I
may have lost my my goal of my statement, but the idea here is with this machine, the LHC, they were able to prove something that up until recently they only could suspect it existed. Right. But because of this machine, they said, boom, here it is. Now they have a 100% complete theory. My question is, in equivalence, what is the religious side? What is the spiritual side's quote unquote LHC? What has been the utmost proof that there is a higher power? Like what proof?
As I just said, that the fact that where it's built, the fact that we're fighting powers of spirituality and principal warfare. I mean, we're fighting. If you look at the New World Order, which goes way back, I don't know if you guys have looked into the New World Order. I don't know if you've
been through quite a few wormholes. If you will.
I know Hulk Hogan spray painted NWO on that championship.
Right, not that one, but it's a long plan that's been going on, and there's just too many things pointing to the exact spot where CERN started. And
yeah, but you keep going back to CERN.
Are all evil or something like that. I'm saying they're being used as puppets.
Hey, Eric, let me try to answer this question for you. So you're looking for the biblical equivalent to CERN, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking for what is, you know, if you say biblical, if you say religious, you know, I don't want to split hairs on that, but what is their LHC? What proved their Higgs boson? What proved, via, an experiment, so to speak, that this does exist?
Okay, well,
on the religious
for the
side.
fact that the particle itself that sparked all creation. All right, in order for something can spark all creation, it
It's
has
a
to be
map.
something that transcends transcends matter, transcends time. Okay,
So
in the biblical reference, God is the only person that was able to create because he doesn't abide by any physics whatsoever. He transcends space and time. He is that CERN, if you will. He's the one that created the heavens and the earth, that's stated in the book of Genesis. He's the one that can be able to do that. There's no like necessarily anything that could come from a flash without something being able to be created. Just like when you were talking about CERN, how we're using that to be able to bring forth these particles.
So
how is that done? By colliding particles together. It has to have a machine that made it to be able to have that happen. Now, in the natural form, it couldn't just happen from anything. It has to be created by something that transcends all things that's known to man in the physical realm, to be able to combine those things unforeseen to be able to bring creation to life.
I just want to say real quick that the Higgs boson isn't the creation of life. They don't use that. It is what they would call a fundamental particle of what we are. So the Higgs boson is
reference that as the God particle.
Hold on.
Don't they?
But the God particle essentially means when you look back. Sorry, just knocked something over. Initially, electrons, protons, all things that form the atom, they were just assumed they had mass. Higgs boson is essentially a field in which gives electron a value. Like even in empty space, the Higgs boson still produces something. So they figured out what gave life to, essentially electron. They're using the Higgs boson to maybe, ponder, maybe it was this field that essentially gave way to the mass that created the bit. That's still a theory. What the Higgs boson is, what they're more focused on at the moment is just the fundamental physics of what make us, and using that as a base to go on and check out dark matter, check out dark energy, check out black holes, check out the Big Bang. So the Higgs boson does not say that this is the creation, but it is what gives mass to electrons, even in empty space. What created that?
I definitely see that point, and that's
before you retort,
astounding to be able to find,
because I have to leave soon.
Find that.
I just want to say one thing before, because I have to leave.
For sure.
All right, so real quick, specifically, what I find fascinating is that the creator that you have chosen to identify is specifically the Western Christian God of your understanding, and that is the creator out of all of the many different gods and variants. So, like, I could, bear with me, entertain this thought. You are almost an atheist, right? Almost, because you believe in one God out of the tens of thousands. So you've just you completely ignore all the other possibilities. If you were born in, say, India, you may believe in Vishnu, maybe even revere Shiva, but you happen to be born in this realm of the world. So you believe in this specific God, and you think that specific God that created everything is the Christian God.
That's a good question. That's something that I've thought about my entire life. But here's the thing. The God that I worship is not from Western theology.
You quoted Genesis, which...
Well, Genesis is written in the Bible, but is not written in the Western world. It was written in Africa, if you want to put it so geographically correct. Now, the reason why I chose to believe in the Most High God is, if one reads the Bible, you will see that the Bible is a living word. Okay, it speaks to you, and every single prophecy that has been written in that book, more than any other religion that I have studied, and trust me, I studied a lot, that predicted everything to a T that's happened in the past up until this point has came true.
Right.
That's why I believe in God.
Can I ask Eli a question?
Yes, please.
You said that you used to have some sort of faith.
Oh yeah, very much so. I was baptized Catholic. I have Jewish heritage. I became a Christian, and I stuck that way for quite some time. And then I started dabbling. Once I found something called the Socrates meetings, I started debating people of every faith for about 4 years. And then that really helped me get to my conclusion that we all have it wrong. There is no real God of any man's understanding. And yeah, I've thrown in with atheism.
And
Do you guys believe
just for
time
point of
travel is
reference,
real?
I was born Catholic. I had my Holy Communion. I was confirmed. I was baptized. So I too went through the whole thing. My confirmation name is Matthew.
On the panel,
I'm a recovering Catholic myself.
I was going
know.
to say on the panel we basically
Where'd he
have
touch
4
you?
recovering Catholics.
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually a recovering Catholic / Mormon, if you really want.
Ooh, more. Yeah, I dabbled.
My
in
girlfriend's she's a Jehovah's Witness.
My mom was a hoot. I was born and raised Catholic, went to a Catholic school.
Your mom was an owl?
My mom was a hoot, yeah. I was born and raised Catholic, went to a Catholic school. When I was 15, I came home one day. My mom says, guess what? We're going to be baptized Mormon. And so from 15 to 21, 22, I was a Mormon until I went into my bishop and I started asking questions about the Mormon. And by the way, I grew up just outside of Palmyra, New York. So I've been to the Grove. I've been to all that stuff with the Mormon faith. And my bishop looked at me and said, I think that you would be happy someplace else. And 2 weeks later, I got my excommunication letter. After that, I dabbled in Wicca. I dabbled in Crowley. I studied Crowley. I've read just about every religious text. I've read the Talmud. I've read.
You read the Talmud.
So you've been searching, Lori. You've been searching.
I've been searching my whole life, and then I finally, came to the realization that, the Catholic Church wasn't right.
They mourn their faith. The Catholic Church mourns their faith. I discovered that the Christian Church gave me a feeling of wanting to celebrate my faith when I had it.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I mean, I used to say that I was eclectic in my faith, in my belief system. I have toned that down over the years to the point where, I mean, I get that there are different gods out there.
And through the vastness of time, there's just so many. And there's a lot of what I do find fascinating is that there's a lot of similarities between, regarding like
look at the sun god compared to how Jesus Christ lived his life and rose in the third. Yeah, very similar to.
So those things fascinate me more than anything else within the realm of spirituality, religion. I just want to add, please feel free, Josh, stay with these good people.
Yeah, I'll hang out for a minute or two.
I may pop on from my home, but. Guys, I love you all. I promise you will. This is not the last of me.
Awesome, Eli. Thank you.
I just
so
showed
much.
the guy who was talking about high turbo bypass engines. Lying is not going to show up.
I gave no. Well, he's offline. But
can you screen share this real quick, Lori? This is straight out of Google, which is not the.
Oh man!
I just want to say,
how can he come? It's not, I'm not saying it's it's legit, but not even Google is. I mean, they don't cause condensation, but this guy came on and said that they cause more condensation. I have it recorded, by the way.
Okay, he is offline, but I promise
he's a liar. He came out and just made shit up, though.
Okay, I promise you, he's gonna get back to you, brother.
So he can lick my balls. All I'm saying.
Jesus Christ,
brother. Okay.
All right, buddy.
You got it. Don't worry. He will get the
don't
message.
Don't just lie.
Take care.
Don't
make shit up.
Eli's
if you don't like me, tell me you don't like me, but don't make shit up.
Eli, take me with you.
Hang on 1 second. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. I want to continue. I got to see him out.
He has to walk me out.
Oh, man.
Eli, take me with you.
Lord, you're stuck here. You ain't going nowhere. Eric, you crack me up, man.
Oh, my Lord.
That's what I'm here for, man.
I really thought
That's what I'm here for.
I really thought you were going to say, lick my wormhole.
I'm still waiting to talk about wormholes. I'm fascinated with them.
I know, but I don't want this to be the continuation of the debate. That's all. I just wanted to have these guys over to stay.
I don't even think we really debated. I think we just kind of had a discussion.
It was a discussion.
Now, see, I was going to share my testimony as far as like why I really believed in started believing in the Most High. I mean, the point is that with all the other religions in the world, is there a way for salvation? Did these gods die on the cross so we can be saved? No. When
So just real quick, if you're tuning in on Stuck in the Middle, we're hanging out on Global Watchmen News. This is the post show. Oh, wait. I don't know if they can hear me.
Yours as well.
Oh, man.
Stuck in the middle with you.
Can you guys hear me talking when I did that?
I did.
Son of a bitch. I was just trying to be slick about it. I didn't hear you stop because I muted you guys.
Just like I was backstage listening to some clown tell me that a high turbo bypass engine.
Eric, you are mad about that.
Because it's a lie. It's a complete fucking lie.
I mean,
that's why. You know, I can understand debating, but when somebody just comes on out of nowhere that I didn't even talk
part
to,
of the debate.
It lies. I mean, a high turbo bypass engine does not create more
content. The host of the debate
creates less.
He wasn't part of the debate. He was
right. Right. So again, pass it on. Just tell him to lick Spitfire's balls. God.
So Josh.
Yes, Lori.
Tell us about Stuck in the Middle. Where did that concept? Because for my viewers over here, I met Eli through Kenneth Medina, who's in my chat room right now, put me into their group called Stuck in the Middle, and that's how I met Eli. And in turn met Josh. But how did your show came on you've been 2 years? You just did your 200th show?
Yeah, we did our second annual 100th show.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Because it's the 100th show because so initially when we're all over the place. Initially, when we started, we did like 1 day a week, and we kind of were just we were overcompensating for what we couldn't talk about. And then Stuck in the Middle is kind of a play on politics. You got the left, you got the right, and a lot of the times the middle isn't necessarily a political ideology, more so than like a place where maybe you could go to kind of take a little bit from the left, take a little bit from the right, and kind of formulate a more concise idea as to what's going on. So it's not like, a centrist per se, but there was a show before Stuck in the Middle that didn't want to talk about politics. So me and Eli said, fuck it, we're going to talk about politics. Sorry, didn't mean to curse. And then it just got like, a lot of the politics just got like redundant or negative, so we started to throw a little more entertainment, a little more pop culture, regular news stories in there, and just started to have a little more fun with it, and that's kind of where we are now. So that's what Stuck in the Middle is. Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 10 p.m. we do a little talk show, we hang out, we have some fun. So
yeah, I've actually been in the
fun.
I actually like watching your show. I don't always catch it live because it's usually happening right after my show, and I'm usually tired by then, but I do catch it on the repeat, by the way.
Well, awesome. I appreciate it. We check you guys out
in the description. You guys can go over Eli and Josh. I mean, really good, informative, insightful shows.
Yeah. I mean, we appreciate that. We appreciate that thought. Like, we're not necessarily trying to be informative. If sometimes it happens that way, that's
by accident.
It's by accident. Yeah, you're just kind of getting our real-time opinions on things, and maybe there's something that we like to pretend that nobody's talking about this yet, so we'll talk about it. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't like to talk positive about anything I do, so that's probably a problem.
Well, I'm gonna have to tell you that's first off, don't sell yourself short, because you and Josh are very talented when it comes.
You guys mesh well together.
Oh,
it's very well.
I listen to y'all.
Enough of this. I want to hear about Lori and Ernie. What's going on with you two? Why, Ernie? Why did not you debate tonight? What happened? You said it was just because of work?
Yes, unfortunately, I was at work, and it was supposed to be done in time for the show, but unfortunately it lasted until 10:45. So I ended up hopping in the chat and listening to y'all and whatnot. I'm like, dang, I wish I could have got in there and debate and it had some good points, but Eric held it down for me, so I do appreciate it.
Eric did great. I want to make sure me and Eric don't have bad feelings, because I feel like every now and again we're like, we're going at each other, but I want to make sure we're all cool. Like we had a nice little talk behind the scenes about wrestling, and we had some good times.
We're cool.
Okay.
Totally.
He's just having issues with his.
You'd know it if you weren't. I'm sure you'd say the same thing. No, we're totally cool.
Good. Glad to hear. I don't like to go away with any ill will, except the Will you don't like. Apparently you have ill towards Will.
Talking about people I'm not cool with.
I think you're taking it the wrong way. That's all. I think you're just taking that the wrong way. I think his intention was pure, and him saying it in the middle of our back and forth would just be unjudged. Like it'd be very almost like you're picking a side, so at the end he's allowed to throw his opinion in, but him doing
it's just interesting he threw his opinion in when I wasn't there to.
Well, I mean, he had to stay neutral.
We weren't there either, mind you.
I'm still waiting for him to show up.
We weren't there either, mind you. We
defend him. He's wrong.
But technically you weren't there either. Exactly.
Yeah.
He's 100% wrong, and I can prove that in a million different ways. But
I don't know. Maybe you guys could talk about it one day.
I just find it interesting. I wasn't there when he brought it
again. We weren't there either.
Interesting to have you and him debate this whole contrail.
I love that.
Like, because
he won't do it.
I don't want to speak out of turn here, but I think he's a jet engine mechanic, or was, or knows about it. So I don't
give a fuck what he is. I guarantee I'll destroy him.
You should a little bit. You should
bypass engines, create more condensation than other engines.
Are you a jet mechanic, Eric?
You might be a mechanic, but it's probably for Legos, not for fucking. Anyway,
I'm I'm not trying to poke. I'm just asking. Like, are you a mechanic? Do you do work on engines of any sort?
I'm friends with mechanics, and
you know a guy though.
One only has to Google the fact that high turbo bypass engines do not create condensation.
Can you tell Eric does not have
you want me to play it back for you guys? Hang on, I'll find it.
You're like the Holiday Inn. Like, listen, I'm not a jet.
High turbo bypass engines create more condensation. Google it, folks.
He's like, I'm not a jet engine mechanic.
Create more condensations than the old engine.
Can you tell that Eric does not have a filter?
But he did stay at a Holiday Inn. So.
When I know I'm right, then I don't have a filter.
No, I mean, hey, when it comes to chemtrail and contrails, Eric would be the person that I would go to talk about it, because he's actually debated a few people over the years, so I think it would be an interesting pilots, yeah, I mean,
engineers
to hear.
They couldn't answer my questions.
So when you debate, Eric, do you normally get off topic? Boom! I'm just throwing jabs. I'm sorry. I'm a dickhead.
I only went off topic for a second there.
I mean, I could point out three specific times, but let's not split hairs. It was
science related.
Was it?
Science would say that a high turbo bypass engine couldn't create condensation.
I see.
But apparently some clown that came out when I was off the broadcast said otherwise. Got it.
True.
You're not going to win with him.
I like science.
Science is great. I love science too.
I have a big problem with people who just believe what they believe, that everybody believes something different. You're not going to tell me some freaking ancient tribe in the Zulu and in the middle of Africa are going to agree with other people. I mean, it's ridiculous. Yeah, that's what bothers me when you bring in this high and mighty, I know all and you know nothing. You have to say the name of Christ right, or you're going to hell. Get the fuck out of here.
Who is the high and mighty? Are you talking about me and Eli? We were being high and mighty?
I'm just obviously not. You guys are atheists. Of course I'm not talking about you.
Whoa, was that condescending? We can't be high and mighty because we're atheists? And by the way,
what I'm saying is I have a problem with people who tell you how you have to be, or you're going to go to hell.
Deal. Yeah, for sure. You and I are on the same page with that. By the way, I never said I was an atheist. I don't know what I am. I just know that what I did in the beginning of my life, right now, I'm like, meh, I don't really like that. I'm good without that. And I'm still the same person, whether I have that or not. You know what I mean?
Well, we all agree. Shiva could be.
Eric, can we all agree that this world is screwed?
No.
I guess we can't. I don't know. Like, in what
I don't
way?
agree with that.
I mean, you see all this stuff that's going on, man.
That seems very apocalyptic. I think the world
I
is
think
screwed,
this
but
world's
then
been screwed for a very long time. It's all how you look at it.
I mean, we've been so innovative though. Like we've
You
done
think
so
things are
much.
escalating.
Yeah, you're right. No,
We've
Oh, for
advanced
sure.
so
Josh, you're
far.
right.
I mean,
we have
come
been
on.
very innovative.
Are we moving marching forward to the new world order? Absolutely.
I
Let
see.
me,
Get
can I-
better
can I
than me.
just-
We're
let me
back to the
interject here.
unknown being scary again.
Maurice
Let
from
me
the State,
interject
guys.
here because this is something that I kind of just popped into my mind. So while we were over on the other channel debating, Josh, you and Eli had asked me a question, and let me just kind of tell you where I'm going because, okay, first off, this isn't an excuse. I have lupus, and sometimes my head gets really foggy, and I cannot get the words from my head to my mouth. So I apologize if I sound weird sometimes, or if I sound like I'm an idiot. It's not, But
Don't
let's
feel
just
bad.
put it
My
this way.
grandma had lupus and she was a complete moron. I'm joking. She did have lupus though, and I love her. So
I sound exactly
I'm
like
saying,
you're talking about.
just sometimes I
ADHD.
can't get the words. Like I know the words, I see the words in my head, but I just can't get them out of my mouth. Okay, so let's just take it this way. So out of the atomic bomb came really good things. We've got nuclear power. We've got things that have gone forward and helped humanity. So we have good from bad, technically.
okay.
All right. So say if you, with this whole Hadron Collider thing, can we both have good and bad come from it?
Of course. May I ask you a question regarding good and bad?
Sure.
Do you think you need spirituality to understand the difference between good and bad?
Absolutely. Well, you have to have some sort of knowledge or some sort of something to base it off of. If I have no moral compass, how can I decide what's good and what's bad?
Maybe. On the other hand, while I agree with you, I just do think too, like just as like instincts, like over time, we've just people in general, like there's a feeling like if you're not a broken person, unaliving somebody isn't a good thing. Stealing from somebody isn't a good thing. I don't necessarily think that those are traits while they are shared, with religious people.
Unaliving.
Well, I don't want to say the M word. That's all. I don't want to get us kicked off.
Sure,
But
no,
Yeah,
that's
no, you can't use any other unaliving is
that's cool.
that's the new code word.
I just I guess whatever. Enough of the word salad, but just the idea. You think good and evil. You need some type of spirituality. You need some type of higher power to distinguish that.
No. Okay, can I interject there?
Some sort of moral compass. You need.
It doesn't matter what religion or what spirituality you believe, but from my research and from the research that many have done, including the #1 best-selling biblical prophecy right now in the UK and the US, it doesn't matter if you're Hindu, Buddhist, Christian, whatever. They were all fighting. They were all describing the same evil force they were fighting. Some called them demons, icons, you name it. Whatever religion you were, they had different names for it, but they were all talking about the exact same evil force. So my question to you would be, do you believe there is an evil force that's being fought against?
I guess we'd have to define good and evil. And before I define evil, what if you believe that high-powered jet engines create contrails? What do you think about those people?
High turbo bypass engine.
Yeah. What do you think about people who believe high turbo? I'm just trying to start shit.
They can believe whatever they want.
I was doing my best to try to
start
freaking plane without a high turbo bypass
to ask
engine
the real
spread out
questions
anyway.
here,
I was just trying
So
to.
you're not
question.
Go ahead,
Real
Ernie.
question.
No, I will.
The whole question was that no matter what religion anyone came from, they all believed and talked about the same evil force. Some called them icons, some called them demons. They all had different names for them, but they were describing the exact same evil force.
Ernie, go ahead.
A lot of them were tripping balls off too.
That's true.
I do believe that one can understand good and loosely evil, just feeling.
My question was, do you believe there is a like the Borg, an evil force out there?
Like if you want to define evil force as broken people, if you want to define evil force as
evil, like the Borg, man.
What's the Borg?
Evil force.
Evil entity.
There is an evil like
entity.
freaking force out there that all these different, and no matter what Bible you look at, whether it's Kabbalah, whether it's the Bible, you name it, they were all talking about the same evil force, describing the exact. They had different names for it, but there was this evil. Do you believe there's an evil force out there? Like
I think it depends on which way you're going. Meaning, like, I think that force could be, magnetism. You have a positive, you have a negative, and if you're trying to go positive, and the negative's attracting you, you may attribute that to evilness,
but they weren't
and or
talking
vice
about
versa.
Freaking electrons.
We're talking about forces.
They were talking about an evil force,
right? And the four main forces are gravity, electromagnetism.
They weren't talking about that though in these different Bibles.
But they didn't know that back then. They just felt a force. Now, years later, we have come to define.
They knew about electrons and molecules back then. I mean,
no.
Sure they did.
Electrons? They knew that during the Bible times? That's news to me, I suppose.
But see, again, you can't if you don't.
Well, it's news to me when in any of these Bibles they talked about electrons and protons. But
when did the Bible reference electrons?
There was a time when it was scripture that the Earth was fucking flat. Then it was round. Then it was flat again.
Right, but when did they mention electrons?
My whole point is you're not answering my question again.
I'm trying to.
No, you're not. I'm saying, do you think that it is coincidence that all these different religions and all these different Bibles had different names for the exact same? They weren't talking about the evil force being a proton or
I know they weren't because they had no idea. I'm saying
they were talking about an evil deity.
I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. I think they could be confusing that force as the unknown, assuming it must be negative, not understanding, natural forces out there, feeling as if they're being attracted to something they shouldn't. I don't necessarily believe.
They were talking about an evil deity, man.
Right. So if you're talking, this is why I asked us what the definition of evil is, Eric. This is why I asked if we could define what evil is real quick, because then that would help us.
Evil deity. I just defined it again.
So spiritual. Do I believe in a spiritual evil force? No.
Google it real quick. What a deity is. Get back to me.
I believe it's some type of God, some type of higher being.
Correct. It's not a proton. It's not an electron.
You're trying to conflate what I'm saying. And I'm saying people back then, when they didn't have telescopes and microscopes and science and all that stuff, they didn't know what an electron was. And I'm agreeing with you. But what I'm saying is that force they were feeling that you're conflating as evil, I'm saying maybe it was fucking gravity. Maybe it was electromagnetism. They're feeling something.
They were describing it in real time.
So if you have a negative and positive force and you're feeling the negative force, what other to explain that than as evil?
You're confusing. I'm not saying they were feeling it. They saw it.
They saw it. Okay. I just want to say one thing.
All these different Bibles, not just one. All these different religions.
Bibles are going to describe.
All of them describe the exact same force. What are the chances of that?
All right. I just want to say one thing. Spitfire, Sentinel, Eric, please provide any channel that you can be reached at, because I promise you, Will, as you referred to him, will definitely want to speak to you regarding.
He just wouldn't when the show ended. Got it.
But in the future, moving forward, if you could provide a link where he will be able to reach you. And I want to say,
Lori, right here. Send it to Lori.
I mean, he's
my co-host.
To host us.
Dude, here's my point. My channel might be nuked tomorrow. I'm used to
and I hope it's not.
The link I give you that may not be there. He had a chance to talk to me one-on-one, and he didn't.
Because it wasn't his place to talk about it.
As a judge, impartially, and then afterwards,
there's nothing to debate. High turbo bypass engines do not create more condensation.
Eric,
end of story.
There obviously is something to debate.
He was just there as he offered us his platform. He was a neutral person. If he wanted to put his 2 cents in and on CERN and on what the topic was, then it would have been different. But that was completely off topic, and it was just something they said at the end. So, Eli, I sent you the channel Rise of the New World Order over on Facebook.
Okay, thank you very much.
Again, that question again was, what is the cool? what are the percentage chances that all these different Bibles, all these different religions describe the same evil deity?
But we go
What
back
are the chances of that?
to
Anything that's dogmatic is going to describe some form of deity because that's what.
No, they
dogma
describe the
and
exact
doctrine
same
is.
deity, right down to what it looked like.
a lot of those Bibles are edited after the fact. You know, they're updated after the fact. They're not in
I
the
agree with
moment.
that.
So I
And-
mean,
all right, here for example, the whole notion of hell in the Old Testament, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, it was mentioned maybe once. We had no greater insight into it until maybe the 12th or 15th century, until Dante's Inferno was written, and then they went on to add the 7 layers of hell or levels of hell. I'm sorry. So yeah, William Shakespeare has also left evidence of his writings when the Catholic Church hired him to write in the Bible. Man's work is all over all of these holy doctrine or Bibles. So yeah, and it's very easy to make an ultimate evil. I mean, for example, look at Stranger Things. It's just a concept of evil. You just give it some form with vague description or as
Correct, but all these Bibles and different religions are describing the exact same evil, right
Yes,
down
sir.
to what it looks like. It's not abstract. They're describing the exact. What are the chances of that?
I'm willing to go down the rabbit hole. I'll look
All
at
of them.
every. I've seen a lot of different variants of whatever evil is from each book. The Tibetan Book of the Dead.
Right, you got demons. You got
Sure,
freaking
sure.
icons.
You know what? There's
Older.
actually a book I haven't read. What is it called again?
The Tibetan Book of the Dead. It's one of the most ancient.
That's an
books
awesome book.
about
The Book of
afterlife.
the Dead. Oh, my
Absolutely.
goodness.
You're an atheist, and you read that. What do you think of it?
I wasn't always an atheist, but it's
Got ya.
immensely insightful. I find the Bibles to be beautiful. There's poetry. There's also
I'm kind of
things in there
surprised you're an
that
atheist after reading that book.
are. I maintain my position. I mean, I can
Sure, no,
take
I mean it's just
new
that's a great book.
yeah, it is. It really is. It was one of my favorites. But I just want to really nail home, like, Will is one of the most respectful individuals I know. He was not trying to disrespect you, bro. And you did.
But he
something-
just came on and completely lied.
I mean, that's your opinion, though.
I
right?
challenge anybody on the panel
Here-
right now and anybody in the chat to Google and
Eric,
fucking
Here's the
look it
thing.
up.
He didn't say
Forget
you
Googling
lied.
and show me that he came on and definitively said high turbo bypass engine.
Yeah, he didn't say
create
you
more
lied.
condensation. That's a lie.
Right.
Either he's lying or he's retarded. I don't know which it is.
No, he
See,
is
I
very
don't. You
intelligent,
shouldn't.
man.
That's
Okay.
you know.
Like,
Take
we
it
should-
easy a little bit.
That's what he came on and completely lied.
Now you're throwing ad hominems out. Remember
Shut
we were talking about that earlier?
Again, if anybody on the respected panel, anybody in the chat room can show me where high turbo bypass engines create more condensation rather than less, I'll listen. And Will, whoever he is, came on. I have it recorded. You want me to play it back? Here, I'll play it back.
Let's hear it.
Said it creates more condensation. I'll play it back. God.
Yeah. Get it queued up. Let's hear exactly what he said because I don't really
It's not gonna go
recall
well.
completely now.
Oh, we will. I'm sure you don't.
I
will be
don't
playing it back.
because actually Eli and I were actually also out of the chat. Out of the stream at that moment. We were just
He does with
listening.
his audience when we
On the show, yeah.
out. It's his business. Anyway, I'm going to bed. Good night.
All right, buddy.
I just found it. Here it is. You ready?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Yep.
And a bubble behind them, and actually hold.
Oh, hang on. It's got to rewind just a smidge here. Here he is.
More questions or want more information. Thank you guys for coming on.
Welcome to the resistance. Hang on one sec. Here he comes. Then we go off air.
Laheim.
Here you go.
Now I can kill that. Now you were freaking out, Sage. What was the matter?
My mind over here. First of all, I didn't get a last say. I didn't get a last say. I
This
got an
is it,
intro
right?
in.
We're still on the channel. Say whatever the fuck you want.
Oh.
If you stop whining, you got all this time.
Can you tell me how high
still recording.
how high bypass turbo fans make contrails?
Oh, so Sage said
Yeah.
it first.
You thought I was kidding, right? You ready?
No?
Yeah, I can actually.
All right.
Okay, go ahead. Tell us.
Yeah, I can actually.
All right, let's do
They
it.
actually hold a. They actually hold a greater section. Yeah, I can actually.
All right, let's do
They
it.
actually hold a. They actually hold a greater section, cross section of air, and a bubble behind them, and actually hold onto the air longer, produce more heat, which will trap more moisture.
So
will
they
actually
have you
move up
backstage Okay, that's again. You want me to play it again?
No, we definitely heard it that
Lie.
time.
No, we got it.
Okay.
I too was backstage. So like you keep saying that as if you were the only one. I just want to let you know that we were all out of the stream at the moment. Like court was over.
That's fine.
So he was allowed to say his opinion.
Go ahead. He
No.
was bitching about not having a last say, though.
He didn't
heard
bitch
that,
about
right?
it. Sage just kind of made a joke saying, I want you to tell me
Okay.
about this.
I'm trying to figure out how this.
Don't get triggered at this point, man. You've held your composure pretty well.
Now you're
You don't need to-
gaslighting. I'm not triggered at all. I'm just trying to have a conversation.
Whoever Will is just completely fucking lied. You gonna acknowledge that with your science?
Dude,
I thought
I
you were all
didn't.
about
Hey,
science.
first
Tell us about
off,
the science.
first
about
off,
high turbo
Eric,
bypass.
Eric, calm down. Eric, calm down. First off,
Keep talking
I
over
never
me, guys.
said, Eric, I never said you lied either. I didn't say Will was telling the
I didn't
truth.
lie.
So,
I'm
okay, so
spot
don't.
on.
Number one, don't
Your
put
buddy
words in
came
my
on, though,
mouth.
and- God.
Don't put words in my mouth. I didn't say
Yeah.
any of the nature. I didn't accuse you of anything, and I hope you hold
You
the
were
same
saying
respect.
Will's a great guy, though, and
He is. I'm letting you know
he
that.
completely lied.
Okay, that part's your opinion, but I'm telling you, he's a
Look
good
it
dude.
up. Google it like you've Googled everything this entire show.
Okay,
and
let me Google it.
tell me about how high turbo bypass engines create more condensation.
Let's see.
Go ahead.
High turbo
Turbo bypass engines. Yes.
bypass engines.
go ahead.
More condensation. I'm glad I didn't have to start anything with the word P. I'd have been fucked, man. That's an inside joke for all us guys out there.
This is how far you'll go to defend somebody who's completely wrong, who's a friend of yours. Got it.
I'm actually doing this to try to understand your side. How is this defending him, man?
You
I'm
don't
just
have
trying.
to understand my side. My side is completely.
You
100%
told me
right.
to look into it, man. That's what I'm doing.
Excuse me.
Here it
What
is.
does
Yeah,
all
click
this
that
have
one.
to do with having?
It makes sense. The high bypass will encapsulate the exhaust, giving it more time to condense before dispersing, plus cooling it. That's the first answer from aviation.
All right, now let's just drop that and have some fun, please. Come on.
I mean, I am kind of having fun. I won't lie.
Yeah, but judging by the tone of y'all voices, this seems to be not equating to having fun. So let's just have a good time and just drop it.
Well, I just
Apparently, they didn't remember this guy saying what I just played. He said.
But it does. What I mean, that's.
I remembered. I just wanted to double check to make sure that's exact because it happened so fast.
Exactly what he said.
We had one earphone on, one earphone off. So that's all. That's all
I guess
it
was the fact he literally said he was upset he didn't get a last say.
You're okay. So you're talking about Sage. You're not talking about Will, man.
I didn't say say.
You're
Sage. I
right,
said
but you're
Sage.
talking about the
one
guy
that
who
said
said.
he didn't get the last.
Hold on. I didn't say Sage. I said this Will guy said that he was upset he did
That
not get the
wasn't
last say.
Will that said it. That was Sage that said
Yeah,
that.
the guy who said he was upset he didn't get the last say, and then said the high engine turbojet whatever was Sage, and then Will was the one who explained, in his opinion, what that was.
There was two different.
In his
guys.
opinion, with no facts.
Sage
I never said it
and
was the
Will.
truth, man.
Got it.
Just hearing both sides of the coin,
Well, there's two sides. The side that is
There's
truth,
three
the
sides,
side that's
actually.
lies.
There's
In my
three
opinion.
sides. Well, no harm, no foul. That's all. Just the whole point was just to say, hey, just because he said that, it wasn't a shot at you. That was his opinion that he reserved for the end because he did not want to
When I
say it.
was gone. Right.
We can't get past this, can we?
Well, that's truth.
I'm
Is it not?
actually going to put it end of the show tonight because I'm going to go to bed. But
Gotcha.
I want to say thank you. I do want to put it out there for both Sage and Will. I appreciate them loaning us their platform. For the conversation and debate, whatever discussion that we had tonight. Again, thank you to Eli and Josh. Thank you to all of their viewers. Thank you to everybody. We really greatly appreciate it. Listen, I don't want any hard feelings to come, with.
Come on, man. We're not gonna have our feelings. I totally dug.
Well, I'm just saying.
Josh.
I mean, I don't want any hard feelings coming from the other side. Both Will and Sage aren't here to defend themselves. So
But
I'm very
they will be.
uncomfortable. But I'm very uncomfortable with continuing this because
I had an invitation to debate them. So
Right, but what I'm saying is
Do
they're
that.
not here to defend themselves right now. So.
Lori, I would never feel uncomfortable, but with that, I just want to say thank you for having us on. I'm glad, Lori, we get along. Eric, I'm glad you and I get along. I really wish we could have patched the things up with Will and Sage, because I know they're good dudes, and I know that thing was. It was just said in passing. It wasn't said, you know, to get a rise out of it.
Sketchy that I was off the broadcast when it was said. That's all. Does that make sense?
Right, but again, just to go back over,
was there. He
we
could have
were off
said
the
something
broadcast too. Remember?
But he was on the broadcast. He could have said something during the broadcast.
But that's not the point of a judge. That's all we're trying to say.
I was off the broadcast to say it.
No, you're correct. And he did say it while you're off the broadcast, but the point of it was to not interject during, as to pick a side. After
why
that,
would you not interject during a debate? Isn't
Because
that the whole point of a
wasn't the
debate?
topic of conversation.
let me ask you this real quick, and then I'm gonna get out of here. A judge during a court session, can he speak? Like, he can say, well, out of line and stuff like that, but he doesn't say his opinion in the moment. He waits for the jury to come back. He reads their verdict, and then
I didn't
maybe
know that he was a judge. I thought it was.
Well, it's his. Yeah, it's his court.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's cold beer court.
I didn't know that there was a judge.
Well, yeah. Well, I get, you know, he was the moderator, so to speak. Maybe judge is the wrong word.
I thought Eli was the moderator.
No.
No, Will
was
and
the
Sage.
moderator?
You were
Will
on.
and Sage were the moderators. They were the ones that, when, you know, had that.
Oh, well, that makes more sense.
Okay, so you're just coming to a realization moment that you kind of got
Not really.
Oh, got you. I see. Well, hey, you know what? Agree to disagree is what I say. I think it was a great debate. Lori, Eric, I appreciate it. Ernie, I'd like to hear more from you. I don't want to, you know, I'd hate to leave on this. I'd like to maybe, you know, have some fun, but it's okay. I understand. I don't want to make Lori uncomfortable, and nor does she want to let, you know, a conversation go on that is involving people that aren't here, which I respect.
I mean, absolutely. And I would love to, you know, sit down and talk to you, you know, whether it's through this platform or whether it's through messaging or anything like that. I love talking. And I love sharing new ideas, but I also love to listen.
Heard
And that's
that.
what I do is I sit back and I listen.
Have you heard anything between what's going on with Eric, myself, Will, and Sage? Like, what do you hear, Ernie, with all this?
I hear a lot of things being blown out of proportion, in my opinion, but
Heard. What?
They're only blown out of proportion if somebody actually takes it with them off this broadcast.
True, exactly. If you leave here tonight with any ill will, then that's on you, right? Like, that's on all of us.
It's all theater, folks.
It's all in good fun. You know what I mean? Awesome. Well,
Indeed.
Well, shit. Lori?
All right. Well, I do, like I said, I do want to thank everybody. I want to thank Will and Sage for allowing us to share their platform with us, to give us that platform to have this discussion and debate. I want to thank Eli and Josh from Stuck in the Middle. Josh's Progressive Patriot. I will put all the links in the description below for you guys to follow these tremendous content creators. I do want to put it out there that, you know, we all have differences of opinion. We are strong-willed. That's why we are all content creators. That's why we're not just chatters. That's why we're not just people that come on YouTube and just sit and watch videos. We have a strong voice. We have differences of opinion, and I believe that's what makes us stand out in this community here on YouTube. So I do want to thank everybody.
Nailed it.
Awesome. Lori, thank you so much. I'm going to hop out. I appreciate it.
All right.
Later, Eric. Later, Ernie.
Later.
I want to thank everybody that was watching us. Thank you, everybody over on Stuck in the Middle for watching us. I want to thank everybody in our chat room. I thank the moderators.
All right. I think, make sure we're out of there. I think we're out of there. Woo! Oh, boy. Let me go ahead. If you feel like calling in and sharing a little something, make sure I got to edit this number. Hang on a second. What's the new number? Man, great debate though, at the very least, and a great after show. That was fun. 7043. Hang on a second. Okay, we'll put that up. All right, boom. Remember, there's only one line, so I don't know how many of y'all want to call, but there's a number, 954-399-7043. Give the number a call if you feel like talking about anything you just heard during the debate on the little post-show wrap-up there with Global Watchmen News, Ernie, and Eric. Man, fun stuff, huh? Let's see what the chat's saying. See what y'all are doing, what everyone's up to there. What were you debating? Anarchy, we were talking about CERN. Veritas, you did miss some drama. Fun drama. Try one clicking. When you click a number lick. Oh, hang on. Well, 1 second. Sorry. Yeah, it should be good. I knew it. Hang on. It's coming in through my phone.
Call from Yori.
Yori,
Hi.
you're on. How are you?
I'm okay. This is not going to be the pleasant Yori, so
Oh,
buckle
no.
up.
We're prepared. We're buckled up. We're buckled in. How did you feel about the debate?
I think it was a fair enough debate. You all were respectful until this prick motherfucker asked Will to lick his balls. And then he disrespected you. He disrespected Eli. He overspoke Lori. He thinks he's, I don't know, God's gift to fucking man. He sounds like a fucking crackhead.
Yeah.
Sounds like a fucking crackhead. Like, I don't understand how you sit here and you debate on nothing and say it's a fact. Where's the fact come from? Google, motherfucker. Will's a fucking jet engine mechanic. Like, are you fucking dumb? And where, if he was sitting behind backstage, where the fuck, if you had the nerve to hear that, why the fuck didn't you say something before you dropped off the fucking panel, you prick motherfucker? How about that? I said, why the fuck didn't you fucking say nothing to fucking Will when you was sitting back there? You recorded it though, you bitch prick, right? But then you tell him to lick your balls on fucking YouTube? You're a little obsessed with men licking your genitalia.
Damn, you weren't kidding about going off.
Oh, fuck out of here with that bullshit. You can't fucking have a debate when you can't stay on the facts. You can't have a fucking debate when you're constantly asking everybody else to veer from the fucking fact of the debate. The debate was CERN. He wanted to debate religion. He wanted to debate this. He wanted to debate that. He didn't want to stay on topic for a goddamn thing. He's not worth his shit and salt.
It did feel like he got off topic a bit, and I did make mention to that. So I'm not speaking out of turn, but yeah, he was so bothered by Will's statement, and he confused the two at first. He thought Will said everything, and then realized it was Sage. He probably wasn't back there, but it was both of them. And Will came up and said his expertise as a jet engine mechanic, and nobody really debated him in the moment.
Grade or his pea-sized brain, because you asked him the same question and he was like, "Well, no, I know a friend." Oh, so you have a friend? Yeah, everybody has a fucking friend apparently.
Everybody's got a friend. Listen, I don't know, but I stayed
themselves.
Yeah, listen, I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express, so I know.
Yeah, the bellhop told you, right?
And like, I hope it wasn't. I hope people didn't think I was trying to keep the drama going at all. That wasn't my
super disrespectful to you on your own fucking channel. Like, I don't understand. Like, oh, well, my channel might go down. So you think because your channel's going to go down, you prick motherfucker, you're going to try to take everybody else's shit down because you're miserable? You sound like you're fucking smoking crack out of a pipe that fucking Hunter Biden fucking gave everybody in the country?
It seems like the after show got more heat. Like, everyone kind of thought the debate was going to get a little hot and bothered, but all the drama came right after that. Like, everybody was kind of on their P's and Q's, and kind of the real players came out to kind of say that they were frustrated and what have you, kind of saying some wrong things.
The one that thinks they're the smartest one in the room. That's a fucking ignorant piece of shit.
Oh boy, you think Will would want to kind of debate this further with him?
I'm gonna be honest, that's a little below Will's pay grade.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna just be honest. That he doesn't deal in reality and facts, and that's not a thing. That wouldn't even actually be a debate.
Maybe Will will be on the lookout for him now, Maybe he'll be finding his channel and see what...
We'll be on the lookout for him. You know how that goes.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy, do I. Oh, boy. Me and Eli were part of it one time. God damn it.
Yes, you were.
Indeed. And you know what? We loved it. We loved it. So, well,
and here we are.
well,
I don't
Yori,
wanna take up your show because I'm pretty sure there's other people that want to call. They're probably like, yo, this girl's crazy. Yes, a little bit.
not at all. Definitely crazy, but you're not taking up time.
All right, well, I'll let somebody else call. Thank you.
All right, Lori.
Okay.
Thank you. We love you. Tell Will we said hello.
All right.
Bye. Yori, everybody. If you feel like adding your 2 cents in about what happened, please feel free to give the show a call. Hopefully, I will do a good enough job to pick up. It's 954-399-7043. Let me know your thoughts. What'd you feel about all that goodness? We're not going to hang around here for too much longer. It's getting a little late. Getting a little tired. Got to wake up and move a bunch of concrete tomorrow. But nobody wants to hear about that. What do you want to say about the debate? Please give us a call. 954-399-7043. We got a lot of opinions going down there in the chat. Oh boy. Unspecified says she's late. V, you have no idea how late you are, ma'am. How late you are. Hope I didn't just assume your gender. Josh, I don't think that guy Eric will do a debate. He will just do more of what you saw tonight. Forging, I'm not, I can't make that assumption. If ever it got to it, that would be on him. If it was ever brought up to him, that would be on him to see if he wanted to move forward with that. I can't assume, but I do have a feeling, he may get off topic just a little bit, no shade at him, but hey, we may talk about wormholes for a second or something like that. God bless him. God bless him. Well, yeah, I'll leave it up just for a little while longer. There's only so much to talk about. There's actually a lot of funny topics I had prepared tonight because we weren't even expecting the show to go on, just because, it's like everything was last minute. There's a lot of stuff going on, which we totally understand. But I was like, okay, got to prepare for this. Biden said some funny stuff, all that good stuff. But, this was funner. This was a nice release from all the other bullshit out there. Yeah, says he stayed off topic the entire debate. I don't know about that, maybe. Let's see.
Call from
Shelby.
Shelby, you're live.
What's up, Josh?
What's going on? How are you tonight on this fine night of debates?
Oh, quite lovely. It's a good night tonight.
It is. It is a good night tonight.
So, first off, I have to say, Yuri was fucking fantastic, and I want to know, can I hire her as like personal security?
Right.
Okay, well, I promise. Like that was incredible.
Right. Like, I need her to just kind of like speak at it, like, call Comcast for me, just like drop the ball. Like, if I got to ever quit my job, I need her as my, my front woman of like defense. Like, I'm coming out at you. It doesn't matter. Like, she's got to start a business out of that. That's amazing.
Right. I mean, like, I deal with shitty yacht brokers on a regular basis. I need her as my PR person that like handles their bullshit. Like, that was awesome.
That's a better way to put it. A PR person. That's exactly what I mean. It's just right out front, ready to handle all the downfall out of there. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff.
But she's definitely not wrong. I mean, a debate is a debate.
I think
without being disrespectful.
Right.
Like it's no longer a debate at that point. It's an argument. And I mean, we're all grown adults. I feel like most of us are, and nobody wants to do that shit.
Did you see a lot of the debate? Did you see any of the debate?
So I did. I actually did finally find it. That was kind of hard. So I like rely on my YouTube notifications quite a lot. And so whenever, Stuck in the Middle's on, I get the notification for it. Well, for some reason, the notification of we're going to be on this channel didn't quite come through the same way.
Yeah, that's YouTube doing their shit.
And so, and even if you clicked on the link that was shared for me on my phone, didn't go anywhere.
Right.
And that was that sucked.
That's a bummer to hear. Yeah, you're trying to find a good debate to watch. You click it, you get nothing. You get pooed on.
And so, with that being said, because of this being like such a big issue of, that the Hadron Collider, and then what, the religious people are thinking. Then you've got like the conspiracy theorists and things like that and all that stuff going on. Well, I kind of, talked to a few friends of mine, people I've grown up with. But they're, of course, their attention span's less than 15 minutes. And when they couldn't find the video, well, it's over now.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like, it was still a really good debate for what I saw of it.
Well, I would love to hear your full thoughts. If you ever do go back and watch the full thing, like let us know. Do you think, the gentleman got off topic a lot? A lot of people in the chat here, some people during that show did think that. And then he had a few of his friends saying, no, not at all. It's spot on. And even Will corrected me one time saying, no, we're talking about a statue at CERN. I think it's on topic. So at some points he was spot on, but I do think other points he was way off topic. But
well, so just as a person that isn't really religious, but was raised in a very religious household, I think it's absolutely comical when anything that massive on the scientific level, like the Hadron Collider, like ends up coinciding with the religious topic. I think that is the funniest thing in the world, because like the Higgs boson, the God particle, was nicknamed that as a joke.
I'm so glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up. That I was thinking that. I was like, isn't it funny how science called it the God particle? That's funny you just said that. That's hilarious. So they did it as a joke?
They did it as a joke because, of course, religious people think, well, God created everything, and science literally is the exact opposite of that. So when they found this particle, they nicknamed it the God particle, literally as a joke.
But it does give life to, it gives mass to electrons. So I see because not without finding the Higgs boson, but without the existence of the Higgs boson particle or the Higgs field, there would be essentially no life. So without the Higgs boson essentially, creating mass out of nowhere and giving it to an electron attaches itself to an atom, and all this whole process goes by, like eventually without that, like, you don't have life. It's not saying the Higgs boson created life. It interprets that happening like right after the Big Bang. So even then, the whole Big Bang is kind of in question, but the Higgs boson kind of can give credence more to maybe how the Big Bang happened, but it doesn't say this is how.
So I remember when I was a kid, like in the early 90s and whatnot, it was pretty much you believed in the Big Bang or God, one of the two. There was no in between.
Right.
Well, as science has evolved, the Big Bang event is not so cut and dry anymore. If you go through the research and stuff like that, they're like, well, it's not really like something massive happened and then suddenly we have people.
Right.
Like a lot of people think.
Evolution takes a long time.
Extreme of, well, an explosion happened and now we have people on Earth. Well, it didn't quite work that way. And you've got to go more deeper into the science to find that out.
Right, and just like
but they also can't prove the Big Bang necessarily, because that's literally the existential debate.
Right.
Well, you can't prove your point, but I can't prove mine. And me personally, I was raised in a religious household, but I am not truly religious. And I will not know whether I am right or wrong until it is too late for me. If that's the way someone else believes, by all means, you do you, boo-boo. But it's where you flat out, the religious argument flat out denies the science is where I have a problem with it.
I don't find...
When you just act like it doesn't exist, but it does.
Right. I definitely concur with that. And then to add on to that, I do find, too, that the tendency seems to be, to me, that if you are religious, a lot of your views on science and the unknown always revert back to some type of fear, some type of, if we don't know about it, it's probably going to turn out bad. It must turn out bad. And that there seems to be a lot of that with religion, whereas science is trying to find out what that unknown is, not to just say, oh, hey, this is what the unknown is. This is what happened. Like every day they question what the most latest theory is, and that's how science evolves, by saying, nope, you were wrong this time. Whereas it does seem religion, just their big sticking point is, well, if it disagrees with religion or disproves it, it must be evil. And it's like, well, that's kind of a cop-out to really have a good conversation regarding that, because it gets back to what you're saying, Shelby. It gets back to this moral. It's just like it diverts to this, like, well, then we're kind of stuck in the same place we are, because it's just, religion.
Well, so, I mean, you also have the modern depiction of what Satan looks like. The red man with the horns and wings, and he's this awful, ugly person. But I literally read the Bible. It was a punishment for me growing up that you had to copy scriptures from the Bible if you ever got in trouble. And there is absolutely nowhere that says he looks like the modern version of him. So then that made me wonder more of, okay, well, the Christian definition of evil. Well, there's evil spirits. A lot of them believe in demons and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, we're starting to get kind of supernatural here. That's kind of going against what your good book says, that there are no evil people, just evil intentions. And it actually explicitly states that. That's why, God said, bring them to me. Your job is just to spread how good I am. Bring them to me. Because honestly, if we're all being judged for our sins, like if this is real, no one is going to judge me on the sins you committed.
Amen.
Okay, so the Catholics, I've known plenty of Catholics. I mean, they are the first ones to party every single weekend. Drugs, women, sex, whatever, doesn't matter. Let's do it. Because on Sunday morning they can go to confessional. Well, the only reason they believe in confessional is because they believe they can't confess their sins to anybody. It has to be somebody ordained by God, which is where the priest comes in. So, well, what about other religions? Can I just be forgiven for everything that I did wrong? Well, no, you're supposed to follow the commandments after you dedicate your heart to God.
Can I ask you a question, Shelby?
Yeah.
Do you think one can understand the difference between good and evil, or believe in good and evil without being religious and or spiritual? And then I gotta let you go because I gotta get out of here.
Oh yeah, well, I don't mean to keep you. I'm sorry.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So I absolutely believe that there are people that no matter what will have evil intentions. It's just the way they're built. I mean, I went through nursing school. I did a psych rotation, and I absolutely love psych. And there are people that just don't think like the people that function in today's society. I mean,
but does evil exist without religion? Is my question. Like if someone was born,
and no matter what they do, they will never see what they do is wrong. That's the problem. So the way the Bible actually defines as a sin is outside of the 10 Commandments. That is the only exception. But outside of the 10 Commandments, what the Bible truly defines as a sin is what is wrong to your moral compass. Well, if I want to, sleep with every dude I meet, but I don't feel guilty about it, that means it's not against my moral compass. So for me, it wouldn't be a sin. Now, I don't do that, but just for shits and giggles, that's my example.
You must stop sinning, Lori Shelby.
If I don't think that's a sin, then that ain't going to happen. It's not my sin. It's your sin.
Heard that.
You can't put a book out there and say it's open for interpretation and then get mad when people interpret it differently than you. That doesn't make sense.
Shelby, I got to be honest with you.
Nonfiction or not?
Yes. I do think that some people, I did have a former boss who used the Bible, the Torah, and what's the other one? The Muslim one. Like he kind of used all three of them together. So some people can see it as historical. Some people just kind of see it as spiritual. But, it's late. it's losing me just a little bit, but I appreciate you much calling in, Shelby. Much love. I do hope you catch us next week. I do hope you go back and watch Cold Beer Court and watch that whole debate. It's fantastic.
From what I watched, I truly did enjoy it. I'm gonna watch the whole thing, no matter how mad it makes me. So.
Awesome. Thank you, Shelby, so much. We appreciate your support, and thank you for watching Cold Beer Court, man. Thanks.
Absolutely. Have a good night, Josh.
Shelby, everybody. We appreciate you. Listen, 30 more seconds. I know there's a little bit of delay. 30 more seconds. If anybody else out there in YouTube land feels like calling in, which the numbers are going down a little bit, so I assume everyone's getting fucking tired. I'm getting tired. You're getting tired. Boy, we can be tired together, but, got to go to bed sometime sooner. So I'll leave it up open just for a few more minutes. 954-399-7043. Yeah. But besides that, I do think next week might be a little shaky. We got to figure out with Eli come on a schedule. He has a crazy busy week next week, so we got to figure out what's going on with that. But I do think I'm going to cut it here. I think it was fun. I think we learned a lot. Let me do what I do and make sure we got to be somewhat pro. Put that background music on a little bit. That going out music. We didn't do a show on this channel tonight, but man, I think we had a great time on this little post-debate wrap-up. So thank you. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you, Eli. Thank you, Cold Beer Court. Thank you, Sage. Thank you, Yori, for calling in. Thank you, Shelby, for calling in. And most importantly, thank each and every one of you who come out and hang out with us, who support, who like, who subscribe. It's a fun little group, and I enjoy doing it every time we get to go live. So thank you for that. That's on you. So until then, we will see you next week.